away, and a few months earlier, Petra's husband, Donnie, had gone into the Center City nursing home. But even as Alzheimer's had robbed Donnie's mind, it had ignited Petra's spunk and determination. As a final coup de grace, Toni's slightly younger juvenile delinquent husband, Junior, had up and left her for a bar waitress with a head full of hot pink extensions. That's when a merciful God had smiled down, taken pity, aligned the planets, and helped set gentle plans in motion for the Cackleberry Club to be, excuse the pun, hatched. The Cackleberry Club, a whitewashed, rehabbed spur station out on Highway 65, was a kitschy, quirky place. With a decent kitchen installed, battered wooden tables and chairs put in place, and legions of antique salt and pepper shakers and ceramic chickens arranged on shelves, a delightful little cafe with a tangle of wild roses out front had emerged. Because there were a couple of extra rooms for sprawling, it became readily apparent that a book nook might bring in extra business. So cases of books, mostly mysteries, romances, and children's books, had been ordered and neatly arranged on shelves. Petra, who was a knitting and quilting freak, decreed there was also room for a knitting nest in an adjacent room. Colorful skeins of yarn and hundreds of knitting needles were carefully displayed, along with towering stacks of quilt squares. And once rump-sprung armchairs were liberated from attics, draped with woolly afghans and arranged in a cozy semicircle, customers felt more than welcome to sit and stay a while. In a relatively short time, a few months to be exact, the Cackleberry Club had emerged as the crazy quilt apex for food, books, knitting, quilting, and good old-fashioned female bonding that drew fans not just from Kindred, but from all over the Tri-County area. Petra nudged Suzanne with an elbow. "Look, Mayor Mobley's squeezed in a little campaigning." Suzanne gazed past the face-painting booth and the funnel cake wagon to watch their pudgy mayor swagger along, glad-handing folks and slapping oversized campaign buttons into their palms. "What a slime ball," she muttered to herself. Though Kindred was a picture-postcard little town with historic brick buildings and well-kept homes skirted by towering bluffs and remnants of a hardwood forest, their mayor, as top elected official, left something to be desired. Suzanne always had the niggling feeling that Mayor Mobley was just this side of legitimate, and that various permits, licenses, and easements could be more easily obtained by greasing his sticky palms. "Ozzie never came back for his pie," observed Petra, looking at the paltry few that had been reserved. Ozzie Driesden was the local funeral director, as well as a civic booster. Of course, what funeral director wasn't a civic booster? They all wanted to win friends and influence people for that final trip to the great beyond. "Hmm?" murmured Suzanne, still keeping a watchful eye on the swaggering Mayor Mobley. "Ozzie bought a cherry pie earlier, but hasn't been back to pick it up." "Tell you what," said Suzanne, frantic to ditch out. "I'll run the pie over to Ozzie, and you pull out your squishy black magic marker and slash prices on all this stuff. Hopefully, it'll magically fly off the table so we can boogie on out of here." "Deal," said Petra, as Suzanne snatched up Ozzie's pie. "But I think I'm going to slip a few ginger spice cupcakes to that poor fellow sitting by the picnic tables. He looks like he hasn't had anything to eat in a week." "Better taste them first," warned Suzanne. "You wouldn't want to kill him." Delighted to be done with the bake sales, Suzanne set off down Front Street, finally able to relax and enjoy the afternoon, what little was left of it anyway. An orange September sun hung low in the sky, but the faint rays were still warm and relaxing on her back, a lingering, lazy day feeling before the crispness of autumn took hold. In fact, Suzanne was casting admiring glances at fire maples and daydreaming about riding her horse across a sunny hillside of blazing sumac when she pushed open the front door of the Driesden and Draper funeral home. That's when the days warmed.